I'm back, baby. I'm all the way in Munich, Germany, where we are checking out what BMW is calling Next Gen. They sponsored our trip out here to show off some of their visions for the future of automotive technology, and I am really excited to see what they've got in store. So we're inside now, where the big star of the show is obviously their Vision Next unveiling here. Now, we're gonna get hands-on with these cars in just a moment, but we gotta wait our turn, and apparently this time slot is reserved for none other than Paris Hilton. So I'm gonna sit and patiently wait, and then I will get you guys the update in one moment. Okay, our turn. So behind me is 3 vehicles that are part of BMW's Vision Next. So that's the iNext. They actually showed that last year. It's more about the sort of relaxed vision of the future, where your car drives you and you're kind of sitting in a mobile living experience. This is the star of the show today, and this is the M-Next. So it's still got a ton of technology in it, because this is their vision for the future, but it's technology that's really geared around the manual driving experience. So let's take a closer look at it. Starting from the front, you've got this spectacular mix of the old and the new. So you've got the classic BMW dual kidney grille, except it's not a grille. So it's a plug-in hybrid vehicle with an advertised 0 to 60 of 3 seconds and then a 62-mile range. But because it gets most of its power from electric, they actually don't have an air intake at the front of the vehicle. So this is instead etched glass that actually lights up from the side for this really stunning effect that accents the thrilling orange paint job just beautifully. Another really cool lighting technology is BMW's laser wire lights here. So these use just these single wafer-thin glass filaments, and they're laser lit, which really opens up some new possibilities in terms of designing the shape and the style of the lights on the vehicle. Another tech that I've seen before, but not that that makes it any less cool, is the inclusion of 360 degrees of camera coverage for the vehicle, which, wait a second, where's your rear view and side mirrors? Nowhere. So my first time experiencing that was actually on the BMW i8 wireless demo a couple of years ago at CES. It worked shockingly well then, using screens on the inside of the vehicle rather than mirrors on the outside, and you can see that BMW is still committed to exploring this concept. It improves aerodynamics, and from my experience, doesn't degrade the driving experience at all. In fact, in some ways it was better, because I had everything I needed to see right in my cone of vision. They've got biometric door opening right here, and then this is cool. So these covers right here, again in thrilling orange, are not just for looks. These actually improve the aerodynamics of the car, along with this air scoop right here that serves a dual function as well, cooling the rear brakes. Then at the back, we find more of this mix of high-tech and traditional. So they've actually borrowed from the air intakes of the M1 to create this glass rear windshield that obviously you wouldn't be able to see out of, but you don't need to because of the 360-degree cameras. And again, they're using this like filament thin laser lighting to create an utterly unique rear to the car that I think looks absolutely phenomenal. If I didn't need to drive kids around, right? So now it's time for our autonomous level 4 demo. Right over there is a 7 Series that's one of about 80 cars in BMW's level 3 and level 4 test fleet, and there's nobody in it, and we're gonna use the car hailing feature to get it to come pick us up. So what do? I just click?
You just choose your destination where you want to go. For
yeah.
example, you want to go home.
I'm going to work, right? Okay.
And then just push pick me up.
Pick me up. So I was assuming I was gonna sit in the front, but nope. I just chill here. This is it. This is cool. So check this out. This seems to be, what is this, LiDAR data?
Yes, this is LiDAR.
Cool. So this is actually the front end of the car that just pulled in behind us. And then these right here, this is a group of people that's walking around. So you can actually see their steps right now. Oh, but I can click start ride.
Start the ride, yeah.
Okay, cool. So we can't go out on the road on this one for legal reasons, but we can operate the car completely autonomously here in the parking lot. And my understanding is that part of the demo is that they're gonna try to throw the car for a bit of a loop by having an obstacle come out in front of us. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. You can see here in real time, these are updating, I think it's what 20 times a second?
Yes.
We're getting this real-time readout of the shape of the closed course that we're on here and then any obstacles. So these are actually plants that you can see along the side here. Oh, she's moving some tires. We better stop. Yes, we have detected the obstacle. So if I were to leap out of the car and jump in front of it right now, it would stop.
Yes.
Yes, but don't do that.
I cannot allow that.
Yeah.
We'll get in really big trouble.
Got it. Car. Processing. Parking. Look, I know everyone else is gonna want like a natural human sounding voice, but I'm more into like full robot car. Now, a short drive around a closed parking lot might seem like a pretty underwhelming autonomous driving demo. But that's only until you have a look at the underlying tech, because none of it was pre-scripted. So behind me, they're doing the talk for this demo, and they cover a few things. First and foremost is that they're expecting this kind of level 4 driving technology to show up in their cars as early as 2021, which last I checked is not a long time from now. The other thing was the comparison between how an autonomous vehicle can perceive the world and how a human can in terms of the intake of information. So they show a couple of slides and then they take it away after a couple seconds and go, okay, well, how many pedestrians were there? How many cars were there? And of course, you don't know. You can't remember those kinds of details, but the car does. In fact, BMW had to build a new data center just to house all the data that they're getting from these cars. The ones that are coming are going to be generating up to 8 terabytes per hour of data to be sent back and analyzed so that the AI can learn from it. So there's two different ways the car uses this information. First is for the overall mission. So like go to BMW World, for example. And that's gonna tell the car things like, oh, well, we're gonna need to change lanes eventually so I can make a left turn. But the part that was really fascinating to me was the visualization of the more immediate intent-based processing that the car is doing. It's taking everything around it in real time, 20 times a second, and trying to predict about the next anywhere from 5 to 7 seconds. And there's some really cool stuff here. Everything is color-coded according to whether it's going the speed limit, above the speed limit, decelerating, or stopped. So red objects are stopped, blue objects are going faster than the speed limit, and pretty much everything has these little curves or lines that are coming out of the front. So that tells us what the car is expecting that object to do based on a successful identification of the object, like whether it's a motorcycle, a truck, a car, or whatever the case may be. Now, in some cases, you might see that the car isn't sure. Maybe someone pulled into a left turn lane, but they didn't signal. So you might get two paths. This one might go straight or it might go left, and the car will approach with caution. Same thing for this bicycle rider, for example, who is standing by the side of the road looking like, oh, maybe they could just keep standing there, or maybe they could fall over and fall out into the street. Now, there's still a lot of training work to be done, but between their test fleet and the simulations that they run, BMW is well on their way to the 240 million kilometers that they are required by their own internal quality standards to test each model for before being able to release it into the wild. Now it's time for our second driver assist demo of the day. So this is demonstrating level 2 features, and while the car itself doesn't look futuristic or abnormal. In fact, this is a 3 Series that you could go to the lot and buy today if you wanted. The software is different. So we've actually got the developer who's driving our car. I feel pretty cool about that. And he's going to be showing us some of the features of what they're calling next level cruise control, including the ability to automatically decelerate for a red light. Is that right? Without you touching it.
Without touching it.
Assuming you did your job. Assuming you did your job correctly. Is that why they make you drive it? Yeah. So he asked us for permission to drive fast. So I apologize in advance for the camera being a little all over the place because I said, yeah, I want to have the full experience. So unlike the level 4 demo, we are actually going out on the road for this one. Is it stopping? It's stopping. David, look. Nice. So once the light goes green, it doesn't start moving for us. Remember, this is not level 3, level 4, but it does detect that and makes a little audible tone. Hey, wake up. You gotta start moving now. So on our second light, it actually wasn't already red as we were approaching it. It was yellow, but the car started to decelerate anyway. So the fundamental difference between this kind of driver assist technology versus autonomous operation is that the car is just taking a formula. How fast am I going? What status is the light? And performing a fixed action. It's not actually sensing contextual information about the environment and making a decision. That's the key difference. So I thought we were done. I thought that was the last demo. Then they brought us into the theater here for a little closing ceremony and a last minute surprise. So this right here is a concept bike that they're calling the Vision DC Roadster, and it borrows some elements that we already saw earlier today. Like for example, the recycled carbon fiber construction. Now this one's really got my attention for a couple of reasons. It's fully electric, it's fully connected, and BMW promises it is 110%, what is it they called it? Pure driving pleasure? Something along those lines? That sounds pretty good to me. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks to BMW for sponsoring our trip out here. If you guys disliked this video, you know where that button is, but if you liked it, hit like, get subscribed, or maybe consider checking out where to buy the stuff we featured at the link below, JK. Almost nothing we showed today is available, but hey, in the future, right? Vision for later? Yeah. That's the idea.